Hello. Oh my god. Sorry, should I comb my hair before I come on? Hello, and welcome to this channel. And in this video, I shall be going over the origins of the Cenobites in the new Hellraiser film. To be fair, I was going to do a reaction to the trailer first before seeing it, etc. But just didn't get around to it. I will be doing a review on why I think it's a good film, because I think it is a good film. You know, and the thing is, it's also that thing where I hear amongst the fans, well, the fans of Hellraiser, as it were, this ongoing argument of, which is the best, blah blah blah. But here's the thing: this film is trying to be of its own. It's not trying to replace or outdo anyone. You know what I mean? It's like, for me, right? For me, it's like, for example, a lot of the Hellraiser fans are like, oh, no one replaced Doug Bradley. Well, no one's trying to. It's kind of like, for example, for me, the best Superman will always be Christopher Reeves. Who, and that was the film I watched when I was a kid. And, he genuinely made you believe that a man could fly. You know what I mean? He has that vibe, that feel to it, that presence to it. You know what I mean? However, I do like Henry Cavill as well, and for a modern day Superman, I think he's good. But that's the thing, you see. People don't understand. It's like you always have your favourite. No one's trying. It's like, oh, for example, Batman. My favourite Batman's Michael Keaton. So it's kind of like I don't go too much into it because I could leave that to the review, but I just felt like, it's a bit silly. Everyone's like going, yeah, this film's better, isn't it? I think it'll be Doug Bradley, blah, blah, blah. The new Pinhead is novel book. It's novel book accurate, yeah? Clive Barker chose the actress, and Doug Bradley, the original Pinhead, has given his approves of this choice, whatever. I mean, but also in the book, it's the actual gender of the engineer or the high priest or Pinhead, as some call them. The gender was never said in the books at all. It was left ambiguous. It was androgynous. But anyway, so I'm going to probably do a review of that. I need to type up the auto cue as well. To type up my thoughts next. That way, so I don't miss anything out. But this is an article by Screen One on the origins of the Cenobite scene in the film. Incidentally, if you have not seen it, do not watch this video, because you'll see them. I see them in the trailer, but you don't. It's not going to ruin the plot of the film, but you just don't want to ruin. If you haven't seen them in the trailer, haven't seen them properly, there's photos in this article which may ruin it. I put it on the simplified view so we don't get adverts popping up and all that sort of stuff. So, right. So I'm going to put this somewhere I can still. Oh, sorry, I had to do that. Go to that. Right. So every new Cenobite introduced in Hellraiser 2022, published 2 days ago. It didn't say it's by, because it's simplified view. But Pinhead returns with some new Cenobites who promise to tear your soul apart while still honouring the original film's franchise pantheon of evil demons. And it's funny because this article points out stuff where I'm like, oh, yeah, it is reminiscent or paying homage to certain characters. So, like this video, this article will contain spoilers, so proceed at your own risk. Just like, with a puzzle box. Oh, my puzzle box is up on the shelf. We're safe. So anyway, the latest iconic slasher film to be rebooted, David Bruckner's Hellraiser. Oh, it's not really. Is it? Oh, is that new direct? Thing is, I don't know who. Thing is, as far as I was aware of, it might be David. Yeah. See, I can't remember who directed it, which I know sounds terrible, but I know that Clive Barker was heavily involved in it, because Clive Barker, for years, even though he was involved with the first film, which the story is based on the book and that, he wanted to create a universe that was accurate to his vision, if that makes sense. So, I mean, there's a rumor that he wants to do like a Scarlet Gospels. Come on, that would be good. But yeah, he wants to actually develop, because when he sold the rights over, as we all know, Hellraiser 1 to 3 is great, and I mean, I do like some of the old ones, so that the later sequels, to be fair. But the problem is they weren't great, and they ended up going straight to video. Yeah, it was just, they were pants, and that's not where he wanted to leave it. You know, and he wanted him to be, oh, scooty. I mean, it is annoying. It is stupid though that he's put on Hulu, because not everyone has Hulu. And I mean, yeah, in general, I had to find some streaming site to watch it, but because I don't have access to Hulu. What was it? A lot of stuff from Hulu tends to go on Disney Plus, but they're not planning to have Hellraiser on Disney Plus, which sucks balls. But as soon as he got the rights back, he wanted to start making films, or working on a project where he's creating films that fit his vision, if that makes sense. Right. Brought the franchise into modern era along with some new Cenobites, the demonic purveyors of pain. Well, then, it depends. Because it was always left open. It's like a Lovecraftian horror. That's what's good about Clive Barker. It's like a Lovecraftian horror. It's that ambiguity, that unknown factor to it. It's never stated that they're evil. They just seem to be indifferent, or, you know what I mean? It's like the famous line, angels to some, demons to others. I mean, there is a slight confusion in the film with the Pinhead character and one of the other characters about desires, because the in the original first film, the high priest knew what you wanted. They could look into your soul and go, we know what you seek. You know what I mean? But yeah, so the whole idea of angels to some and demons to others, it depends the type of person you are, I suppose, and the idea, I think, is the motive and all that. Or it could be a twisted idea of what people consider to be angels. But so I wouldn't say they're necessarily demonic. I'd say they're indifferent, or, you know, cosmic horror or something. The Cenobites were introduced in Clive Barker's original masterpiece Hellraiser, and are a fixture of the movies. With the film now available to watch on Hulu, here is a look at new demons, Cenobites, introduced. The Cenobites have returned to shame mortals. Pardon me. The apparent pleasure of brutal torture following their enigmatic leader Pinhead, also known as the High Priestess, or the High Priest, along with an updated appearance. Pinhead is also now canonically female. Because even that's the thing, you see, because in the book, the look was androgynous and the voice was very, like, feminine and loud. So it was actually the films that established that the High Priest, or Priestess, whatever you want to call it, was a man. It was the first film that did that with Doug Bradley. You know, I love Doug Bradley, but I also like you would also do like the new Pinhead. She has her own take on it. You know what I mean? Like I said, you can like both characters. Just like, say for example, you have your favourite Batman, but you like the new one as well. You know what I mean? You always have your favourites. No, it's like you know what I mean? It's like the idea of I know, you have pets. I mean, the pets I've owned, there's not one favourite. You know what I mean? But it's that whole idea. None replace the other. It's just like you have that one, but you also like that one. You know what I mean? You can like more than one. You know, but like I said, yeah, there's always one that is iconic, which is all fair and good. No one's trying to beat that. You know what I mean? Pinhead is also an iconic female. She returns along with the howling chatterer whose only remaining recognisable facial feature is an incessantly clattering teeth. Clacking teeth that protrude from his face beneath a mass of warped and stretched skin. Hence why it's called Chatterer. It's like, I can't, well, you should never try and replicate it. I mean, we can, but it's not good for your teeth. Both have received an update. Sorry, I got phlegm out of my mouth. Both have received an updated design in Hellraiser reboot. Bruckner decided to ditch the original Hellraiser's black leather in favour of an anatomical structure. Much like the film itself, the new Cenobites are the perfect balance between honouring and elevating the original. The gasp. Yes, rather than... The thing is, though, it does fit with his artwork, though. I mean, obviously, when they did the... what's it? The novel with the artwork on, where it's like... now, it's the one that says now it's based on now made into a motion picture. That artwork, okay, it has the Cenobites, the black thing, the black suit, but originally... The whole idea was what we thought was PVC or black leather or whatever you want to call it, was actually like darkened flesh, like this here, like the muscle tissue and stuff. The gasp is Pinhead. Sorry, I had a beer earlier, it's caused me to... The gasp is Pinhead's right-hand woman. Her appearance is an amalgamation of two previous Cenobites, Deep Throat and Angelique. Oh yeah, can I just say also, I need to get this off my chest. It's everyone saying that the new Hellraiser's woke because it's got gay lovers in it and they gender swapped the character. One, they never gender swapped the character because it was never stated. Two, what drugs are you on? Because Clive Barker is homosexual and a lot of the elements in Hellraiser are about BDSM. So I wouldn't say woke. I'd probably say Soho in the red light district, but not woke. It's like, seriously? And also, if you look at many taboos, you know, you can have straight people sleeping together and all kinds of taboos as well. The whole idea of Hellraiser, it's, you know, it's kind of like sodomy and hell and, you know, sex, drugs, rock and roll, hell, torture, pain, you name it. It's all that's what it's all about, thrown into one thing. It's not meant to be... I know, this little house on the prairie. Oh my God, there's two gay men living next door. I knew that didn't happen, but I mean, it's not woke. It's actually it's accurate to Clive Barker's vision, but obviously not doing it straight from the book with Frank and stuff like that, because obviously, we'll know. That's the other thing as well. There's a bit of a problem. I mean, yes, it's nice to adapt a book into a film, but the problem is you know what's going to happen. Some books you can get away with it. If you do like H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds, why can't they just do the bloody book? Like the guy who did The Time Machine with... is it Guy Pearce? You know, and he has that holographic librarian. It's like, that's not in the book, but... get that director to do what he did with The Time Machine with War of the Worlds and do it properly, and it will be epic. Doesn't matter if it's set on Mars. Oh, but there's no life on Mars. It's like, yeah, but it's a sci-fi, you numpty. But the thing is, though, in certain books, certain stories, certain ideas, if you know what's going to happen, it's like, well, we know they're going to get out alive. So it's taken elements from the mythos. Mythos, sorry. Mythos, God, I know. But you know what I mean? It's... that's what they did this film. Anyway, but I'll go into the review. I'll put that in the review. Both these iconic Cenobites. And the thing is, I won't do a non-spoiler spoiler. Well, let's go all out on it, because the problem is I hate repeating myself. That's what it comes down to. Usually, if you're lucky, if I forget what I've done in previous videos, then I might say stuff already, go over stuff already. But I mean, both of these, I iconic Cenobites were popular in the original franchise, making the Gasp a fitting tribute. The Gasp features deep throats, nose piercing, and slashed open neck, which is held in place by surgical pins and greatly hinders their breathing. The Gasp's scalp is stretched downwards and hooked to her shoulders and throat in a manner reminiscent of Angelique. Actually, I think I didn't get the first reference, but when I saw the thing like that, I did get Angelique vibes. I must admit, now I think about it, it's like, because I'm not that stupid. Some things I go, oh, they got like, you know what I mean? Chatter, I mean, you know the chatter. The Gasp can control wires which appear from nowhere to entangle victims, like Pinhead's infamous chains. The Gasp is undoubtedly one of the more disturbing new characters in 2022's Hellraiser. The Weeper. See, that looks like black BDSM, but it's actually, you know, just flesh. One of the more visually horrific new Cenobites, the Weeper, is the next most prominent. Her deep blue skin and large black eyes, and endlessly wet with black tears, lend her an alien-like appearance, with her inhuman visage countered by her haunting sobs. Ribbons of her flesh have been removed and are wound onto spools attached to her skin, and part of her lower lip and chin is missing, bearing the flesh beneath. The Weeper has the ability to split her arms open to create a second pair, held together by surgical pins. The Weeper is truly one of the most disturbing additions to the new Cenobites, as led by Bennett. Can I just say, Screenwriter, what the hell do you repeat yourself? As led by this, or as to be seen. Like, we know you're talking about hell. We know they're following the Pinhead, the new Pinhead, and we know you're talking about the new Hellraiser film. You don't need to keep putting that. Hopefully, I won't do it next one, because that annoys me. Those sort of things, and they repeat that. It's like, why repeat it? We know you're talking about that film. The Asphinx. I wonder if they're paying homage to an old film, The Asphinx. The Asphinx is smothered by the skin from its own flayed body. Incidentally, you see that bit in the middle, that metal bit, is the same thing as the main antagonist had in his chest. The Asphinx smothered the skin of his own flayed body, wrapped and twisted over its face. The skin is pinned in place along with a string of nerves and muscles stripped from its flesh to reveal its heaving chest as it struggles to breathe against its own disfigured skin. The Asphinx is initially bound with wires which hold its hands in prayer position via a mechanism attached to its front and back, which, much like fellow Cenobites, is mostly stripped of its skin. Initially calm in demeanour, conjuring images of religious ceremony. Once the Asphinx hands are unbound, its threat becomes much more immediate. The Mask. The Mask is highly reminiscent of the most memorable death in the original Hellraiser, that of Frank during the... Oh yeah, isn't it? The face. And first, Jesus wept scene. His face is stretched out and over a surgical wire, which encircles his head. His white, pallid flesh is dissected and presented like a medical specimen. 2 strips of skin upon his chest contain passages of text which continue the themes of ancient religion prominent in Hellraiser. Wires and pins hold most of the body of its bodies. Rewind. Wires and pins hold most of its body in place, truly driving home the medically anatomical design of Bruckner's Cenobites, as it resembles an antique surgical illustration. See, this one, I think, though, the mother, you don't really see, you only get glimpses of it. I think it's probably will upset a few people who are mothers or who have had, you know, the mother is only glimpsed briefly, but promises to be truly upsetting Cenobite in future installments, which will hopefully be more successful than previous Hellraiser sequels. The mother's body is dissected to reveal and highlight a disturbing pregnancy. As she gently holds her heavy stomach, the mother recalls an infamous crying baby from Hellbound. Hellraiser 2, which also exploited and subverted maternal instinct. The mother's appearance is draped in the trademark Hellraiser blue tinge lighting, which, when bathed upon her headscarf, is highly suggestive of the Christian Mary, bringing in the maternal theme together with the religious. I forgot to bring tissues up. It's not blocked, it's just being a pain in the bum. An illustration of the mother is visible on the wall of Voight's. That's it, Voight. Yeah, Voight had that metal thing in his chest like the aspects. So I have to sometimes put a silly voice on to get my words out because my brain travels faster than my mouth. Or they can't keep up, so I'm like... So... alongside depictions of Gasp and the Weeper. So I had to go and give it a good blow. Is that recording now? Right, I say it's not blocked. It's just, you know, you get, I get deals, but you get that little bit up there somewhere in your sinus, isn't it? Bothers you. Anyway, Roland Voight. Dun dun dun. This one's a bizarre one. I'd be interested to see what make of it later. You know what I mean? As Voight is introduced in Hellraiser, as a human, he is the only Cenobite whose backstory we are privy to. Presumably, that Doug Bradley's Pinhead backstory is no longer canon. Or have I still got indigestion? After opening the lament configuration, Voight is offered the power of the Cenobites, whereupon he is tortured until transforming into a new Cenobite. His mouth is torn open and peeled back, revealing his teeth like Chatterer as his remaining flesh is cut and pinned back into place, lending Voight the appearance of a dressmaker's mannequin. The closing scene, which reveals Voight's transformation in Hellraiser, is the movie's major hint at a potential sequel. It also centers the pseudo-Christian themes, mutilating Voight to the sound of angelic, heavenly choral vocals. While bathed in a blinding white light, Hellraiser has managed to expand upon its lore and legacy while still maintaining the tone of the original. These new Cenobites both honour previous demons from the franchise and emphasise the new, more medical design. They also managed to recapture the beauty of the original of the ordinal Cenobites, who, despite their graphic deformities, still embody elegance and artistry. Hellraiser is available stream now on Hulu. So there you go. That's the origins of their design, of the characters, the design stuff. Basically, they took some, did nod to the other one. So yes, so let me know what you think. Who was your favourite Cenobite? I might have to watch it again to make. I like Pinhead. To be fair. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I got around to recording this late. But yeah, who was your favourite Cenobite, and what did you think of the film? Well, actually, let me know what your favourite Cenobite was and what you think is happening to Voight and all that thing. Actually, no. Okay, put in the comments below what you thought of the film. Anyway, just in case I don't do a review, depends when I get round to it, etc. But yeah, so thanks for watching. If you liked the video, hit like, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Because it'd be great to have you here. And the link also to this article is in the description below if you want to use it, share it, whatever. So, until next time, folks, take care, and bye-bye.